5 personal branding tips to help you stand out as an influencer. Becoming an influencer is increasingly difficult. With so many people trying to stand out on Instagram, you need to work harder than ever before in order to be noticeable and memorable. Keep listening, and we'll explore 5 personal branding tips that can help you do just that. 1. Have a mission statement. A mission statement is where any serious branding should begin. This is your statement of intent, and it's what you are pledging to do for your audience. A mission statement should this way outline not only the product you're going to sell, but also what sets you apart from the competition, and why you chose to start your business. This is your why, and it is what will help people to really get behind what you are doing as a movement. 2. Know your audience. No brand should try to appeal to everyone. This is a very common mistake. Instead, you should aim to appeal to a specific type of person, which will be your buyer persona. This way, you'll be able to direct all your efforts to appealing that singular demographic, giving you a clear and consistent message that will set you apart. 3. Express yourself with your logo. Your logo should express all this, as should your web design and the type of photos you take for your social accounts. In short, someone stumbling on your blog or your social page should immediately know if your brand is for them or not. 4. Be consistent. Once you've found your groove and you have a message and an audience, the next crucial consideration is to ensure that you are consistently putting out high-quality content that will serve that mission and audience. This means consistency in terms of output, keep posting, but also in terms of your message. Make sure that you are constantly appealing to the same people with the same kind of content. 5. Live the dream. Finally, remember that you are going to become an ambassador for the lifestyle you are preaching. You therefore need to embody the dream that you are selling, or the value proposition. If you post about relationships, then your Instagram should be filled with images of you and your partner doing things together. If you post about fitness, then you need to look healthy and happy. 5 ways to build your followers and increase your influence. Being a big influencer means being an online celebrity. It means having a platform and a brand that lets people follow what you have to say. And it means being able to generate huge amounts of traction for pretty much anything you post. You'll open up incredible new opportunities too. From being invited to give interviews to being approached to write books by big-name publishers. It's certainly a great thing to aspire to, but it can take time and effort to get to the top. If you're at the start of your journey now, then listen up. We're going to share 5 tips that will help you get to that endpoint all the faster. 1. Work with big influencers. The best growth hack for influencers is to find other big influencers to work with. This way, you not only gain free exposure to their audience, but also endorsement from names that people in the niche already trust. This is massive. 2. Make a name in existing communities. Another tip that is less well known is to make a name for yourself in other communities. No matter what niche you choose, there is most likely a forum somewhere filled with people who are fascinated by that topic. If you can find that forum, post extremely regularly, and demonstrate your generosity and broad knowledge, then people will trust you and want you to succeed. 3. Write a book. I mentioned that becoming an influencer could lead to publishing deals, but this also works the other way around. If you have something to say, get an agent and seek out a publisher. A book will give you huge exposure and massive credibility. Just look at Tim Ferriss. 4. Get qualified. Another strategy is to get qualified. That means becoming an expert in your chosen field, which will immediately mean that people take you more seriously. You'll find that people are more likely to listen to your advice, and that other brands and creators are happy to endorse you and to recommend your advice. 5. Get media coverage. Another excellent strategy for getting your name out there is to look for media coverage. You can do this by doing something noteworthy that the media would want to share with its readers. That can amount to publicity stunts, but it can also mean giving interviews to share your vision and mission. How to choose your niche as an influencer. If you plan on becoming an influencer, then you first need to do some strategy and think carefully about how you're going to plan your attack. And you really should think carefully. That's because the decisions that you make now, before you first get started as an influencer, will do more to shape your future success or failure than anything you do subsequently. In particular, you need to think hard about your niche. In this presentation, I'll guide you through the process. The first and most important thing to consider when choosing your niche is whether it is something you know well and feel passionately about. It's tempting as a marketer to look at the current biggest niches and the ones that traditionally earn the money, then to pick the one that appeals most to you from there. But this is a mistake. Firstly, it is a mistake because a lack of real passion for the topic will come across as you write and post. Moreover, it's a mistake because you won't have anything new and interesting to contribute. Think about it. Who reads fitness content? People who like fitness. That means they probably know a bit about fitness. And if you're providing the most generic, surface-level content imaginable, then they're going to go elsewhere. To be a thought leader, you need to lead. And that means you need to stick with what you know. That isn't to say you should shy away from niches with a large appeal. Of course, having a bigger potential audience is a good thing. So try to pick a subject that is universal, like sex, money, health, etc. The problem is that doing this can also leave you as a small fish in a massive pond. How will you compete with the huge health brands like Men's Health, or the established money influencers like Pat Flynn from smartpassiveincome.com? The answer is try to be more specific and to hone in on the exact niche that really interests you and that speaks to your audience. This might mean something like health for seniors, for example, or making money online for students. Another option is to combine two popular niches in a unique and interesting way. Either way, doing this will shrink your audience, but also help you to engage much more strongly with that audience once you find them. How to get brand deals as an influencer. As an influencer, one of your biggest goals is the most likely to start getting brand deals. This is literally living the dream for many people, being paid to wear clothes or use products, sometimes thousands of dollars for a single post. You've created your platform, you've built the audience, you've gained their trust. Now how do you land those great deals? Keep listening and you'll find out. The first thing to do is to make sure that you are putting out great content consistently, with a clear target audience. That latter point is important because it's the target audience that is ultimately going to appeal to the advertisers. They must see that you're being consistent and that your followers are listening to you. At the same time, ensure it is obvious that you are open to suggestions from sponsors. You can put this right in your bio and in any other online profile. Simply state that you are open to sponsors and tell them how to contact you. LinkedIn is another particularly good place to do this. If you keep doing this, then as your numbers grow, you are highly likely to start getting inquiries and requests. But if that's not fast enough for you, then you need to get proactive. One way to do this is to reach out to the sponsors personally. Find a company that you have noticed is sponsoring other channels and that you would think would be a good fit for your own channel. Once you've done that, send them an email and explain your situation and that you would love to support them. Show that you believe passionately about what they are doing and that you have the followers and the engagement to help them out. Know how much you are worth. You can use a number of tools online to calculate this. Just don't make the mistake of accepting far less than you should. Be cautious of brands that are offering to pay on a commission-only basis. You are not a salesperson, and you don't want to dedicate all your time to promoting their platform or service. Finally, another option is to sign up for a number of online networks designed specifically to connect brands and creators. A good example is Grapevine. These will list your brand along with your stats, and brands will then be able to message you through the platform. How to find great topics to blog and post about as an influencer. If you want to be a successful influencer, then you need to provide value to your audience. To do that, you need to post regularly about topics that interest them and that provide some kind of value. This is easier said than done. How do you come up with great new ideas for blog posts or pictures with tips underneath or YouTube videos? How do you do this every day of the week for years and years to come without becoming derivative, dull, or repetitive? Here are some tips that can help. Write ideas down. You will have days when you are extremely inspired and days when you extremely are not. A key tip is to write down your best ideas as they come to you, so that you can later read them back. Keep a Wunderlist or similar online list and update it continuously. Read. One of the most important ways to come up with new ideas is to read around the topic that you are operating in. That means reading books and established texts, but also reading the news and ideas from competitor sites. Let all that information jumble around inside your brain and then regurgitate it as something new. See what's trending. Often the most successful content is content that is trending, or that in some way speaks to the zeitgeist in your niche. To find these kinds of ideas, you can use tools like BuzzSumo. This will show you the most popular posts in any given niche, which will in turn give you ideas for things to write about. You can even bounce off popular news posts with your own take or response. Another way to do this is look at Google Trends. Here you can see how search data changes over time in order to see what's increasingly on people's minds and what is not. Choose your niche well. The other crucial thing to do is to ensure that you choose your niche well to begin with. That means that you should know and love the topic you're working in, which will make it much easier to keep coming up with new ideas. Repost. When you're really stuck, don't be afraid to occasionally repost or recycle old content. You can do this by posting an old image on Instagram, Throwback Thursday, or by sharing older posts from your blog to social media again.